Welcome to the Children Author Show, featuring books for the youngsters and by the youngsters. At 7 or 77, discover new authors and writings who bring you new pleasures. Enjoy the moment with your host, Don McCauley.
Hello and welcome back to the show. This is your host, Don McCauley. Today we're welcoming to the program author Casey Crawford Kellerman. Casey is the author of Believe. Casey's a school counselor and a former special education teacher. She's devoted her life to helping children who have faced adversity to become resilient. She created Mind Over Matter books to teach children skills to overcome life's challenges. Her first book, Believe, is now available. The remaining books, Love, Laugh, Relax, and Dream, will be out sometime in 2012. She's earned a bachelor's degree and a master's degree in special education and an educational specialist degree in counseling. She served in public education for 22 years. Casey, how are you?
Great, thank you.
Well, let's start with the big question. Tell us about this book, please.
Well, Believe is the first of 5 books to help introduce resiliency skills to children. It should help children learn how to believe that they can get through the obstacles and challenges they may face in life.
So who did you write this book for?
I wrote this first series of books for the children who are primarily under the age of 7. Preschoolers, toddlers, young children who need to learn skills early on so they can face life resilient.
So what made you decide to write these children's books?
While I was pursuing my educational specialist degree, I had specialized in researching what makes children resilient, and I planned on further researching how to help a child become resilient at the doctorate level. Unfortunately, I had begun working in a new district, and their policy said that I had to be there 5 years. So I couldn't help children pursuing my degree that way. Therefore, I decided maybe I should take the angle of writing books for them. So this past year, I just drove into the 5 areas of resiliency and wrote the 5 different books, Believe being the first one.
Now, when you say resiliency, how do you define that?
Resiliency is the ability to rebound from experiences, challenges, or obstacles that you're faced with. The ability to get through life despite it, to move forward, to learn from it, to grow, to just be able to handle it without letting it take over you.
So are we talking about bullying here, or what are we talking about?
Oh, certainly bullying is one big obstacle that children face today. There's all sorts of obstacles children face: divorce, financial problems, disease by themselves or disease that their parents or family members may have, loss of home, any kind of loss that they experience, death included. All these factors are challenges and obstacles that kids have to face some point in their life. And if they're resilient, they can face them better and move forward in life.
So tell us about the name of the books, Mom, Mind Over Matter.
I wanted to come up with kind of a fun name and a meaningful name, something whimsical that described the books and the ability to be resilient. The acronym MOM, Mind Over Matter, brings my late mother into the making, who was always encouraging me to write books at a young age. She is my inspiration, and she is the reason I am resilient, and she always encouraged me to follow my dreams, so it made perfect sense for me to write books entitled Mom.
So how did you come up with the 5 individual titles here?
Through a lot of my research that I had done personally, I knew that the 5 different areas for a child or person to become resilient, to be able to rebound or recover from an incident, they had to believe things would get better. They have to have a dream to focus on. They still have to laugh at the funny things in life, and they should relax with some sort of activity and hobby and have people that they love so that they can be helped through the situations they endure.
So in your opinion, what's the best part of these books?
Oh, the illustrations are by far the best. I needed an artist who was colorful and whimsical, and I had been with my friend Dawn, who ended up being my manager without knowing it for this whole project, and I told her I needed an artist, and here she had a neighbor that I had met before. The first time I saw Jan's illustrations, I just became so emotional. They were everything I wanted, whimsical and colorful. And she even took it a step further, and she started incorporating family and friends in the illustrations. Little did she know that I had a lot of family and friends, so it really made it a fun project thanks to her creativity.
So we're writing these books. Would you say it was stressful, or was it more fun?
Absolutely fun. It was a great experience working with the whole team. Jan Hill, my illustrator, always filled with creative ideas. My graphic designers, Kim Weber and Emily Ross, were coming up with great ideas on how to put the words in a fun and whimsical, carefree way on the pages, making the pages jump out at you. And my manager, Dawn, was always filled with fun ideas that just made the book project seem so fun and something that people wanted to hear more about and be a part of.
Would you say that children today experience more stress and problems than they did, say, 10 years ago?
I feel they do. Having been in education for 22 years, I've seen a lot of change, more broken families, more disease. Clearly with the recession that's happened over the last few years, children are losing their homes and starving. So a lot more, I believe, is faced now than what happened in just the last 10 years.
So are you addressing any kind of issues here that cannot be overcome, like a physical disability or maybe, you said starving, for crying out loud. Are you addressing any of those kinds of things?
Well, I think if you have resiliency skills, things like starving, things like disease, you still can get through. Can we change the situation? No. But can we get through it with a better attitude? Absolutely. I have a former student who lost her arm senior year to cancer. She was extremely resilient. 7 years later, she's still fighting the battle with a smile, with a great attitude. She believes she's going to get through it. She has a dream to get married. She relaxes with her friends. She has people she loves. And she just gets through her life despite the cancer and the loss of her arm. So I do believe children can get through any obstacle if they're resilient.
Now, do you have any other means of helping parents help their children be resilient?
I do. Once I started writing the books, I started a blog called Mind Over Matter Books. And through that, I address various pages, one page per blog, from any one of the 5 books. And I talk about my own experience, and then I talk about how parents can help their children do the same. So just simple things like laugh building snowmen. Why not get back out there and build snowmen with your children and let the children enjoy the weather rather than think that this is just another cruddy day, with the snow and the cold. Have fun. Enjoy. So I hope that the blogs have served as an instrument to be positive for the children and the parents in teaching resiliency skills.
Would you say that you have a specific writing style?
I think the writing in the book is pretty simple and whimsical, and it's pretty straightforward.
Who would you say has influenced your writing the most?
I was always a fan of various children's books, and the funnier and the sillier they were, the more I enjoyed them. Dr. Seuss being one of my favorite collections that I still own. The illustrations were whimsical, the writings were fun and silly, and they were enjoyable. So I think Dr. Seuss books were the ones that influenced me to write.
Now, would you say that your characters are pure fiction, or are you drawing upon people that you know in real life?
Well, initially, they were just created by my illustrator. There's animals, there are kids on each of the various pages. However, the one day, she came to show me some of the pages, and because of what we had thought of for a page, that was something that related to her daughter. And she says, "Oh, this is a picture of my daughter, Caroline." And it was a cute little picture, and I said, "Wow, that's really creative." And then there was another page, and she said, "And these are Dawn's 2 children, my manager." I said, "Oh, that's very creative." She didn't know that I had 14 nieces and nephews and children, so next thing you know, we started making pages that children, our own family members, used to be resilient, that were resilient